We'll talk more about you though. Or you link up with Trabass in the first place.
I actually met Trabass at a party. You know, in New York, I was doing a lot of wild things. And, you know, at that particular moment, like, you know, I just had, you know, a lot of vibes. And, you know, Trabass just came to me and was like, yo, you know, he was asking me some questions. And...
He knew you before?
No, he actually didn't know me.
So I'm just come here randomly and ask you a question?
No, it was a specific question, but I don't want to divulge the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he asked me the question, and I was just like, you know, and I answered to him, and then, you know, I was like, yo, I'm a fan of yours. I mean, I seen you, because believe it or not, before YouTube and Instagram, Trabass was a star in World Star Hip Hop. That's where I know him from.
Wow.
World Star Hip Hop. So, and they wouldn't name him though. They would just say Jamaican.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're looking for, like, you know, in a hip hop world, and you're looking for something that reminds you of your culture, and then you see, like, you type in Jamaican, and then you see a couple of Jamaican comedies, and then I seen Trabass skits on World Star Hip Hop. And, you know, I was telling him, like, stuff that would make it even more better. And he was just like, yeah, we can do that. Like, you know, so then he started to, you know, do the props and stuff like that, props and stuff like that. But where we really connected was the fact that I kind of served as a buffer, so he doesn't have to talk to people. Where basically there was a lot of people, like, you know, I could tell you a bunch of funny stories, but there was people that would come up to him and book him for, you know, try to book him for a little bit of money. And then, you know, it would be hard for him to collect his money at the end of the night, where it's just easy for me, where I can just say, you know, because of who I am, I just be like, yo, listen, we're going to need that money at the end of the night. And, you know, it just worked out that way. And, you know, that's where it really eventually led to.
And probably work out much better for him too, because as we come to learn, Ari, it's always best when you're not dealing with business situation personally.
Especially if, I think it's harder for us, or if not just us, but if you are the face of whatever it is, the brand or whatever, and then have to deal with the business, it's sort of difficult, because then, you know, you have to change hats. So when people see you as this funny, you know, go lucky and cool person, and then when you more money, like they'll be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So you have somebody else that can be that.
Yeah, we have many situations where promoters didn't want to pay, or promoters is trying to put a thing in your hand.
Nothing.
I put a thing in your hand. I'm like, no, we agreed to, like, you know.
That sounds like $100.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't friend if I literal buckle a thing.
Yeah.
I saw them fucking move something.
The disrespect.
Yeah,
Have you ever like say, yo, like you ever bad up someone and say, wow, more money? Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, we've had situations. It was more about following. It wasn't really about the money. It was more about the protocol. So basically, I have specific protocols where, you know,
down payment, deposit, and then
so people try to go around the protocol, and you know, what happens is that when you try to go around the protocol, it makes me upset, and then now I have to, like, talk to you in a stern voice, if you understand what I'm saying. And then, you know, if it doesn't work out, then I'll just be like, all right, we're going. We don't have to breach of contract and stuff like that. And you know, we have one or two situations like that, but it's nothing major where, you know, we broke out into a fight or no court situation. No, not really like that.
When him did forward up here and cause if it happened, what happened with Spice, because he was the reason there. He also spoke about he thinks that if he was of a lighter shade, that more business opportunities would be afforded to him. Now we're speaking with the person who handles his business. What do you think about that? Because I have a theory, because I think maybe because you so black.
what?
So I'm gonna talk about that.
Literally name blacks. So maybe because of the person who was dealing with the business.
No, I gotta validate it because it's a legit.
I really think
it's real. So now I'm gonna tell you no. And I don't want to, in terms of Trabass part, I'm going to say no, I'm going to have to disagree with him, because if I was here, I would remind him of a situation where that was absolutely not the case. Because his talent overshadowed other people that was of lighter complexions.
Which I believe to be
and true. They were on par at one point. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to disrespect anybody, but his talent did take him further than those other people. You know? So then you have, you know, I've had people like, yo, you know, come up to me, it's like, yo, Trabass, need a white manager.
Wow.
You know?
Talk to the white people.
Like, yo, you need to partner with white manager. And I'm like, you know, and in my mind, I'm like, you know, there's people in the industry that has white managers, you know, and that's specifically the reason why they have the white managers. And that's fine. I mean, that's, you know, to some degree, that's true, where basically a white person going into a white office and they, you know, are chummy or whatever like that, and they see me as a black guy from the ghetto, or even a real black guy from the ghetto. And it's just one of those things where, you know, it might be difficulter or more difficult, but at the same time, you got to push through. And then I plan to be, there's always a first for everything. You understand what I'm saying? Or there's always people that are outliers. So you got to work hard within yourself, and you have to trust in your own talent. And that's what you have to do. And I feel like, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? The
reason why they're saying that he should connect with a white manager is because I guess the persons who hold the purse strings are white, and I guess they have a rapport with their fellow white men.
Yeah. I mean, in certain industries, we already know this. I mean, in certain industries, the people that are top are white. So there's nepotism, there's things that come into play where basically, oh yeah, that's my cousin. You see, it's the same thing for us as black people. It's like, you know, my cousin, I'm going to look out for my cousin more than I look out for another guy that's...
Yeah, that's human nature. We look out for those that we know.
Yeah. So in terms of the people that are real corporate, like the person that runs the corporate office at Pepsi, it's a white guy. Most likely. Most likely, I don't know. But most likely he's a white guy. So it's easier for him to say, all right, you know, I identify with this guy, as opposed to when I come into the office now and he sees me, he might not identify with me.
So you have to like look for the core connection there. So whether it's school or if it's,
and then you have to be exceptional. So that's the thing about it, is like, all right, you could be a black guy, but you have to be an exceptional black guy.
The Harvard or Notre Dame, them school there. Wow.
Yeah. So you do like any formal schooling in terms of management?
Well, all right. I used to work for a management company that managed hip hop artists. So that's what I did right before I met Trabass. The management company moved to LA. And, you know, I just wanted a different direction for my life, because at the same time, it was paying me, but it wasn't paying me a lot of money. It wasn't paying me much at all. But I mean, it was like, you know, I was getting a lot of opportunities, and I was meeting different people, and I was doing different things. And then, you know, I decided to focus on my household and making sure that I had enough money. So I stayed local. And then so happened I met Trabass. And then it wasn't on some management thing. We were just talking. I was talking to him similar to how I talked to you, where it's like, yo, this is what I like about your stuff. And, you know, this is how, you know, it'll be dope if this happens. And then basically it just became a connection where, you know, I was just looking out for his best interests.
I guess Trabass is kind of multifaceted. So, but like, you know, what's it like? You said that you used to or work with somebody who managed hip hop artists, and you know, Trabass is more of a comedian of a sort, or actor. Like, what's the difference between an artist?
Well, it's talent management is a general field.
Right.
So what happens now is that when you're managing talent, it's just making sure that everything goes smoothly, and just making sure that, you know, your talent has the best opportunities afforded to them. Okay. And, you know, usually that's the case.
Okay. So there's no difference between a hip hop and comedian, or?
Well, I mean, the scales. It's the scale's a little bit different. You know, you're dealing with large amount of money. You're dealing with different brands and huger venues and stuff like that. So, you know, you would have to, and then, you know, the riders and stuff like that is totally different. Okay. But I mean, you know, it was a smaller scale, but similar process.
And he's transitioning into artistry too, like, well, musician.
That's been for a while.
Yeah, for a while. So, you know, like, how is it managing, like, having to balance both, you know, like the comedy and
your part, I
musician,
think,
Well, for me, with him now, what I do is just that whatever, you know, it's artistry isn't just one thing. Artistry to me is self-expression. So I encourage anybody I work with to express yourself however you want to work with it, or however you want to express yourself. So if you want to make paintings or murals on the wall, do that. If you want to sing songs, do that. If you want to DJ, do that. So,
but of course, you have to be good at it.
All right, so let's talk about that. You know, Trabass' first song, "You Alone." I think I remember it took like 12 hours to record that song. Wow. But now he's recording songs in like 2 hours, or you know, very quickly, and he's commanding his studio session, as opposed to people dictating how his studio session should go. So his transition. So at the end of the day, yeah, he told me he wanted to do music, and I was just like, and then. And then
I don't know if you're the best or the worst manager, because you're like,
I mean, you know, there's skepticism, but I took him to the studio.
Everybody has a crew.
As an artist. So you support everything that he does, but I guess it's, as you said, skepticism. It's
I mean, if you know, the You Alone, he recorded You Alone. It took a while to record You Alone. I think we got to the studio like 11 o'clock, and then we left the studio like 8 o'clock in the morning, just to record one song. Like, you know, and then, you know, it was a process. And then now he's like turning out songs. He's knowing the directions of the songs. He's knowing how many bars.
Release an EP.
He's releasing EPs, and a lot of the stuff he does is on his own. And he records on his own now. So it's like, you can see where a person, if you have a drive or a passion for it, a person can get better and better.
Speaking of, just remind him, say him did promise to make me feature upon one of them songs.
This guy.
Speaking of.
So what you have in store for Trabass? And is he the only person you manage?
Well, I manage, all right, so here's my thing now. Management is a very difficult job, because you have to put people's interest in front of your own. So
I don't know if that was a Freudian slip. Put yourself.
You have to put other people's interest in front of your own. So I had a stable of artists, and then, you know, they call you at any given time where you know, they have their demands, they got their needs, they, you know, they have the ideas they want to run across you. And I have people that, you know, I don't have official contracts with, but then I have people that I do work with, and then I make sure that their best interest is at heart. But at the same time, I don't want to lock in with anybody right now, because I just had a baby. So
congrats
by the way.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, shout out to Olovich, shout out to Lincoln Tree. Deanne we just collaborated on a business. So she has Lulu's Holistics. So
yeah,
I manage Lulu's Holistics for her. So, you know, we do that, and that takes a lot of my time also. It takes a huge amount of my time.
Well, no, I'm getting all of that in terms of Trabass and Deanne, but how is it for you, like, managing like the personal situations between them, man? Them thing there.
You know,
do you have business with that?
I have to. The reason why I have to, because it affects them it affects them business wise.
I could.
No, it does.
It does.
Like, sometimes if Trabass is depressed, he doesn't want to work. Or say if Deanne is mad, then she doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It does. So sometimes you have to give them pep talks and say, yo, come on. Like, let's, you know what I'm saying?
That's rough.
So them have you there for that, like, in terms of it.
I mean, it's more of a big brother role.
Mediator.
More of a big brother role where I just say, hey, you know.
I feel like that's counselor. That's more counselor.
It's not really a counselor. I mean, because I don't want them to feel that, you know, I'm leaning. Well, I just, you know, we just talk about things, and then sometimes, you know, sometimes it's a fixable thing. I could say, hey, or a mediator. I could say, hey, you know, you were wrong because of this, and you're wrong because of that, and then, you know, hopefully, you know, things get overlooked or fixed or whatever like that, and then hopefully we can move on with business. And then, you know, I always remind them the reason why I'm talking to you is because of business. We gotta get this money.
That's right.
You don't care about my feelings.
But no, that's what I'm saying.
What about me?
That would be she.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be me for real. You don't care about me. Why you just want the money, Black? So about me.
No. I mean, I make it seem like I don't make it seem like I just put it in a perspective where everybody can understand. And when I talk, hopefully everybody can understand what I'm talking about. And then we can come to a collaboration and then understanding, and we can move forward.
Okay.
People here talk with an accent. What connections do you have to Jamaica?
Well, I was born in Jamaica.
Okay.
I left Jamaica when I was 3.
I don't know about that right now. I really don't know because I'm even hardly in my country these days.
I hate Naro so much.
Tell us about play the background. Continue.
Yeah, I left Jamaica when I was 3. So I haven't been back a lot since. Yeah, but I come back, you know, on business. But I don't really come back like. I mean, I have a sister here in Portmore. I have some family in St. Anne, but I don't really like everybody comes. Most of my people come to America, so yeah, I see them when they come to America.
Well, no, you couldn't. No, okay, because I was able to ask you like if you want to come back, but you don't. Would you want to come back to Jamaica? Would you want to set up roots here again?
Well, I mean, I do own property out here.
Okay.
So, you know, I own stuff out here. Some sister and stuff like that is out here. So, you know, I could still, if I, you know, right now I'm this stage of my life. I mean, most of my things are more established in the United States, but you never know what the future holds.
That song that broke cultural barriers.
The song and him, the artist, really hot up the place.
Sex, everybody loves sex.
I wouldn't be surprised if this song was used at a convention. It deserves a spot on the top 10.
There's no doubt that Spice should be in the top 10.